Uh-oh. Is my mic on? Can you hear me? Mic check.
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Wednesday. What? October 8th.
October 8th.
There we go. We got the sounds cracking. We got everything rolling. What's going on, Coach?
Man, October 8th, man. Last week, what was it? We were talking about the Dana White thing, and this week, Eddie Hearn, he bit back, bro. He bit back, and I love everything that Eddie Hearn had to say. I love everything that Eddie Hearn has been doing, so we're going to break that down for the people tonight. And just to prove that Eddie Hearn is the shits, as they say when it comes to the boxing promotional game, he has not one, Professor T, but two shows on Saturday. One in Sheffield in the UK, which is already sold, I think, over 10,000. And then the other one is in Philly, baby. If you guys want to go see Jaron Boots Ennis, $30 is the cheapest seats right now. You guys can go over there at Wells Fargo and check him out, man. Check him out.
And where is this at again?
It's the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia.
So he is doing the hometown deal.
Yeah, and that's you know what, Eddie Hearn's gotten a lot of criticism in some sense, and even Boots Ennis has gotten some criticism. And you know, Professor T, I'm very high on Boots Ennis. I think he should already be in the pound for pound list if it was me, just because I know the level of talent that's there, right? And I also know that when he was 23 and when he was with PBC, there was a lot of duckage happening that, you know, no one really want to give a shot to the youngster. So now that he's with Eddie Hearn and he's with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn has a way of building you up correctly so that when it's time for you to do a super fight, you're actually like right there at that level. Like, people forget that when Kell Brook fought Terrence Crawford, right? Kell Brook was the superstar.
Yes, he was.
Terrence Crawford was not. It was a Kell Brook thing.
Correct.
Right. So, yeah. So this is one of, and again, which, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but a lot of casual people didn't know that. You know, they assume automatically that the American fighter is the A side, and that's just
not on that one.
Case exactly. You live and you learn something every day,
and that's the interesting thing, which actually goes to how great Crawford is. Crawford is an original type of a fighter where he's willing to be the B side, beat everyone in. Even if we're being real about it, when you went to the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight, a lot of people thought Terrence Crawford was the B side. Not me. I'm just saying. A lot of people thought Terrence Crawford was the B side to it all. And that's why, like, I don't like the narrative of you can't now downgrade Errol Spence because Crawford beat him. You were building him up so high, man.
Right.
You know, like, you can't take it away from Crawford like that. Like, if you said he was this, then Crawford beat that dude. Like, that's how it works. So, speaking of that dude, it's Jaron Boots Ennis right now. Jaron Boots Ennis is fighting. Yes, sir. He's fighting according to BoxRec, which a lot of people love the way BoxRec does the rankings. The guy that he's fighting, Uisma, the Monster Lima, who is from Angola but trains and lives in Portugal, right?
Jesus.
Yeah, and we'll share a video of him when you get a chance, Professor T, because there's a little Instagram video of how he looks. But this guy, if you guys are not familiar with Lima, he's no joke, man. This guy is a monster at 154 pounds. And I think that there's a narrative within the casual fan base. They don't understand that Boots Ennis is the 147 Ring Magazine champion. Right. He's the 147 unified champion. So he's actually the one taking a risk to move up. And we saw what happened when Terrence Crawford moved up to 54. It wasn't exactly the easiest thing in the world for him to do.
Wasn't what he expected. You know that.
So I expect Lima to bring it. I expect Lima, man. I've watched all of his little promos, the way he's working out. I've seen his fights. And though I am a big Boots believer that his talent will show through, this isn't easy, man. And Boots himself yesterday on Max Kellerman's show, Inside the Ring, he said, after I beat Lima, I'm taking them all on. Whoever wants to get it can get it at 154, right? So in Eddie Hearn's interview today, he said that there is already a contract negotiation deal in place should Virgil Ortiz beat Erickson Lubin over there in Fort Worth, Texas, November 8th.
Dude, that's going to be fire.
Man, that's a fire. I wish I could go to Texas to watch that card, actually, because it's in the Ford Arena or whatever the arena is that's like in Fort Worth, Texas. I don't know. I forgot the name of it.
It's Ford Arena, so it's not the Cowboy Stadium, but it's...
No. It's in Fort Worth. Yeah, it's in Fort Worth for sure. And they have the co-main event is Floyd Schofield. And Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin, man, he's fighting Jojo Diaz, who had that war with Regis Prograis. I mean, that's the type of fight that honestly, Professor T, if you can take Spence to that,
right,
then he would understand. He would be like, "Oh shit," like, "Oh my god," and that, and that's the thing is in Texas, honestly, those tickets probably gonna be what, like $25, $30 to get in. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no Crawford Canelo prices. Even if you want to get like the nice, like mid-level seats, probably going to be $100 at most. It's not going to be some crazy prices in Texas.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So definitely worth it. I know you're a little bit far away from Fort Worth, right? What, an hour and a half, right? Mm-hmm. But it's worth the drive, Professor T.
I agree. No, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah. I'm contemplating it. I'm
November 8th, man. You sure as hell don't want to come here to Vegas and watch the Raiders lose. So.
Oh, we ain't doing none of that.
It's boxing time, man. And you already know the how fight week is, but I don't know what it's like fight week in Texas, but I bet it's pretty hopping. I bet that it's a hopping place for fight week.
Yep. I mean, it's a cool scene here in Austin. Like I say, I have been to a couple of, if you will, underground fights, particularly MMAs too. Shout out to my guy Professor K, KT Whipper, Kevin Troyer. I still carry his ticket stub for his very first fight.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, it's my guy.
Cool. So yeah, so with Jaron Bootsy, this is a big test for him. It's this Saturday, free on DAZN. It's free on YouTube starting at 2:30. So all you guys have to do is go to the Matchroom YouTube, Matchroom Boxing on YouTube, and you'll see the preliminaries. And it's great, 4 great fights of young American fighters that we all need to see, like Zaquin Moses, who they're calling the next Shakur Stevenson. I mean, it's kind of funny to say the next Shakur Stevenson because Shakur is only 27, man.
I was gonna say, he's, baby.
Yeah, but this kid's a baby too. He's only 20, I think, or 19 or something like Zaquin. Zaquin's fresh from the amateurs, man. But but the kid is good, Professor T. I'm not gonna lie. The way Zaquin Moses looks, I hate using the Floyd Mayweather comparison, but he got some shades of Floyd already at that tender age. So I like him a lot. Everybody will get a chance to watch that for free, and then if you have the DAZN app, the entire main card for Boots Ennis versus Lima is all for free. The co-main event is heavyweights with an undefeated heavyweight Alex Barriere from Canada against Guido Vianello, the Italian guy who caused some upsets. He fought a hell of a fight against Ajagba, who's like ranked number 10. So Vianello, I think his last fight he fought Richard Torres, who's the silver medalist. And that was kind of a close fight too. So yeah, heavyweights are always fun, and the whole card is just a great card. So if you're in Philly, man, $30 is nothing. You definitely should go to this fight. And then if you're watching it at home on TV, I mean, unless there's some great big college football game, if you're a boxing guy or a boxing person, you definitely are going to want to watch in my opinion, and I'll say it for the record now so that I can go back to it later.
Right.
I think by 2026 he will be in the top 10 pound for pound list. This kid is the real deal.
Hey, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready to see it, man. Hey, we got a ton of people that hopped on in terms of TikTok. So get ready to hear your name, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out Omar Niviles, Jason, Yepers, Eddie-ish back, bruh. We got Smaggy in the building. Rad Dad 54. Jorge Fontaines. Dominic Panita. I don't know, man. Parting Shot. Wallace. I like all these names, man. B-Dog. Adi Rubio. Mr. Ant Dog. We got Brian in the building, Lacey in the building, JTZ, Lucky One, Bobby. I mean, Pick 64, Andrew. There's a ton of people, man.
Hey, TikTok, we love you guys, man. We absolutely love you guys.
For sure, TikTok is going wild. Yeah.
Well,
it's flying through. So
yeah, no, well, it will definitely. You know, we're trying to give you guys the news on this is fight week, for us. I don't want to like make the TikTok people or the YouTube people or everybody else who does watch our combat sports channel to get mad at us because we're going to be doing a lot of boxing subjects. UFC 320 did just happen, so let me just touch on it. All right,
absolutely.
The one thing that Dana White always does is, even if you don't know the names of the fighters or you cannot pronounce it for any reason, which UFC 320 was that type, they always bring the action. And I think that that's Dana White's whole point, right? When we talked about it last week, on his whole point is, I want to build a brand for boxing and where people can trust the brand and know that if you tune it in, you're going to see great fights. You might not necessarily know the names, but you're going to see great fights. So UFC 320, ladies and gentlemen, was an example of that. The main event was Chama, Alex Pereira, Powhatan. Chama knocked him the hell out. Chama broke his ribs, man. That was a beating. Chama did Chama. So and Chama hit him so hard he broke his foot. I don't know if you saw that at the end. They had to put a boot on him, so his foot's definitely broken. He's now again reclaimed and is the new 205 or as they say in the UFC, the light heavyweight champion. Right?
Yeah.
It's a very famous belt, as you know. John Jones had it for a long time. Cormier
for a record long time, I believe.
Yeah. So that was a great main event. Merab Dvalishvili, man, I can never say his last name right, but Merab is amazing. I think he's borderline getting to that legendary status on the way he's doing it. And if you've never seen how he even got to the UFC, you should go rewatch on YouTube. You remember when Dana White and why am I forgetting his name? He's with Ray Longo up in New Jersey, bald-headed too. He used to be a fight. Matt Serra? No, not Matt. Is it Matt Serra? Might be Matt Serra. Okay. So they did this whole thing where they would go around the country. I want to say this was like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago or something. They'd go around the country looking for a fight, right? And they were trying to find all these talented people. This was before the Contender Series on Tuesday nights was happening. They're trying to find people that would sign to the UFC or that they're trying to get signed to the UFC. So they would go to all these different little club shows or underground shows. Right. And the way Merab got into UFC is he wasn't even on Dana's radar. Dana brought in a guy who was on his radar to go to that show. So that's why Dana White was even going to this. Right. The favorite was there. Dude, Merab knocked him out with a spinning like hammer fist in like 20 seconds, bro. And you know, that was it, man. That was the beginning of the champ. And look at him now. Look at Merab now.
Yeah, he's the real deal, man. He's it's gonna be tough to beat. He's gonna be really tough to beat.
I mean, you know already. Not you said yourself that jiu-jitsu people hate going against the wrestlers, and this guy's that I don't know, that Dagestani wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, that's rough, man. It's a rough ride, bro. It's a rough ride. Oh.
Your lunch. And
Yeah.
bring your dinner too.
Yeah.
Don't get just your lunch. Bring your dinner too.
Yeah, and Corey Sandhagen, it's not like he sucks. He was ranked number 4. He's coming off of that amazing flying knee. I mean, the guy's great. It's just that dude, Marab, man. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know. He already beat Sugar Sean O'Malley twice. He beat Corey Sandhagen. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know who's out there that can beat Marab. I don't know if maybe Demetrius Johnson will come out of retirement. I don't know.
That's about who it's going to take to do it at this point.
Man, yeah. So and then there were a lot of other great fights. There was the kid that was the main event on the prelim cards that scored a knockout. So lots of great UFC 320 stuff. Again, if you guys got to watch it, you guys know what me and Professor T are talking about. If you didn't get to watch it, it's easy. Go to UFC YouTube. You'll already see basically the full fight of Enclave and Pereira, because they just put it out there. They go, here we go. Here's the highlights, which is basically the full fight where he knocks him down, breaks his ribs. Right? They actually showed footages of Enclave, and they were stretching him, and then because Poatan was hitting him in the ribs so bad. So yeah, man, MMA, and shout out to The Rock, by the way, Smashing Machine. I haven't seen the movie yet,
right?
Because again, I want to experience it, because it's supposed to get Academy Award nominations and all of that. But I hear from Ariel Helwani that this might be the best MMA docu-style film that's
really.
Well, the thing is, right, you got to go all the way back, like you and me, Professor T, to the Pride days, right? We're talking UFC, 13, 14, 15, you know what I'm saying? So people probably don't remember, especially the youngsters now. So we're going to talk to you, TikTok, because you guys are the young group. There's a legendary fighter by the name of Mark Kerr, who was in the Olympic trials at the time, and he was with people like Kurt Angle and Mark Coleman, right? And during that time, and he went into the UFC. He became the heavyweight champion, and this was back, Professor T. Like if you watch UFC 14, one of the guys he fought was wearing the karate gi and the whole bit. The guy was like 275 pounds, right? This was like they didn't have weight limits, you know what I mean? Like it was just crazy. Yeah. And honestly, that was fun. Can I just say that was fun? That's still some of the most fun UFC MMA you would see is when they were doing all of that, right? With Gracie and everybody. So anyways, Mark Kerr was they called him the Smashing Machine because he had gone from a Vale Tudo tournament, which is done in Brazil, and he was beating the hell out of everyone there, right? And just like, again, Professor T, you could speak to this better than me. If you're in there with a wrestler like a Mark Kerr, and the wrestler happens to weigh 255 pounds of muscle, you know what I'm saying?
It's going to be a long day.
He literally would just like physically manhandle people, who are trying to do grappling off their back. So yeah, that was crazy. So anyways, he wins the UFC. He's on UFC 14, I think he's the heavyweight champion. UFC 15, I think he's the heavyweight champion. And then Pride was a thing, right? Now I'm talking like 97, 98. Remember when they had like Pride 2000, and then they had Ensign Inoue, and then you know what I'm saying, right? That Mark Coleman went to Pride. Like they did that whole tournament where it's in like one night, everybody's got to fight everybody kind of thing, right? So essentially, Professor T, and again, this isn't really a spoiler. I'm just telling you guys, right. The movie in where Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, totally plays and looks like Mark Kerr. He basically does the depiction of that career storyline of Mark Kerr, right? And Emily Blunt, who I think she's already been nominated for an Oscar, an Emmy, or something. Emily Blunt plays at that time the wife of Mark Kerr, and it kind of is like a drama story on. It essentially shows you the fight life, like how difficult the fight life is, the shit you can get addicted to, like how insecure people can be, right? But and there's, and again, like you understand this, and I understand this, and we like to explain this to people, but you guys, you have to understand that not everyone can fight.
No.
But when people choose to do it as a living, it's a whole different mentality of like you have to be at a point in your life that you're actually mentally okay with taking someone's soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? Like, because if you're not in that mode, this isn't tennis, y'all. This isn't basketball. Like,
hey, to be honest, potentially someone's life. Man.
Yes.
It's dog eat dog at its highest level. It's literally kill or be killed. That's really what it is. Because the bottom line is, if the ref doesn't pull you off, that's the harsh reality of where your mindset should be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not really nothing to play around with, man. It's really not, man. Hey, we got Chewy in the building, man.
Chewy. Salute, bro. So yeah, no, Professor T. So yeah, like as you know, again, man, MMA when it started was brutal. It's still brutal today, right? I literally just finished talking about Pereira breaking Ankalav's ribs. That's a 205. He made weight at 205. Fight night, he weighed 235. Right? So man, these guys aren't nothing to play with. But if you guys get a chance, definitely watch Smashing Machine. If you want to do yourself a favor and watch what the movie Smashing Machine is based off of, there's actually a documentary called The Smashing Machine. And the documentary is a deep look into how mentally and physically violent and graphic and unstable MMA was back in those days. Back in the mid 90s, in the late 90s to the 2000s, like Pride, and like it was crazy, man. I mean, people forget too, Professor T. Remember that in Pride, the first round was 10 minutes long. It was a 10-minute round. Remember that shit?
It was wild.
People, you can stomp someone's head when they're on the ground. Remember, that was legal.
Yeah, you could do whatever. It was
brutal, man.
It was truly kill or be killed. I don't. There's no easy other way to put that. It's kill or be killed. Right.
If you guys go back, if you're a martial arts fan and you go back to watch a Pride, because me and Professor T are kind of old, but if you go watch Pride like late 90s. Early 2000s, and just look at it. Just go look at how the event is. Remember, they had Glenn Hart, the opera singer, as the voice, and then she would do that whole, that whole announcement thing, right? And then they would do that music. It was cool, man. Like it made you feel like you were a part of this. Like, oh my god, this event's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So. Definitely worth the watch. But anyways, the movie's about that. Smashing Machines out on theaters right now. You might see. I mean, I can't believe that a former WWE wrestler might actually get an Oscar nomination. But they're talking about it, man. They're talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson getting an Oscar nomination. So we'll see, man. We will see.
That would be cool. So we got one coming in, man. Incoming, and it's a great question, man. Pitbull or Roach? Who you got? Shout out to Chewy on this one. Yep.
Pitbull Roach. They just did the press conference today. Hey, look. First off, Pitbull is a real one, right? Like a style, don't like a style, but he's really short. He's stocky. He's strong. In all honesty, I believe that his best power always showed up at 135, right? 130, 135. He was a monster. I think that the minute he went to 140, the aggression. I'm not saying he doesn't hit hard. You know what I'm trying to say, Professor T? But it's like when you're moving up in weight, your power won't necessarily translate as much, even though you are hitting hard enough. Now, what makes this fight so interesting with Lamont Roach is people again forget, right? It was just a year ago that Lamont Roach was the 130-pound WBA champion. Then he moved up to 35, whooped on Gervonta, right? Like it or don't like it, Tank Davis fans, Tank Davis lost. So Lamont Roach is the one moving up again. Professor T, he's moving up to 140.
Shout out Roach.
Yeah. So in some ways, this kind of negates the weight, right? Because if Pitbull was small anyways, and he's at 140, and then Roach was small anyways, and he's at 140, then that's kind of equal. So now we're talking about skill level, strength. This is for the interim 140-pound belt.
Yep.
And so I like Pitbull a lot, but I think that Lamont Roach doesn't get enough credit for how tactically good he actually is.
He's really good.
Yeah, he's very, very good tactically. So I'm gonna have to go with Lamont Roach on this one. But I mean,
I didn't expect that. I thought you would go with Pitbull. Honestly, I thought you'd go with Pitbull.
I like him a lot, though. And really, this could be a 50-50.
I think it is a 50-50. I don't think this is anyone's getting blown out. I think Roach has exactly the skills to pay the bills in this one. That's really how I see it. That's just the unfortunate side. And Pitbull doesn't cut the ring off well, bro. Like he's just not my eyes, and I could be wrong. I mean,
no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You definitely know what you're seeing when you see that stuff.
Exactly what his name is. And that's really what it boils down to.
What shocked me is Lamont Roach saying that he will not be surprised if he knocks Pitbull out. Which to me, I'm kind of like, damn. Well, Gervonta Davis didn't knock him out.
Right.
So what kind of statement is that? If Lamont Roach does it, with already the growing controversy that Lamont Roach really beat Tank Davis, not only does it make Lamont Roach's stock go up, but it brings Tank Davis' stock down again. It's like, dude, you couldn't knock out a guy that Lamont Roach just knocked out at 140. Again, so it just continues. It continues, and you already, I think you already saw it on the Max Kellerman show this week. The entire panel already said they would not put Tank Davis in the Hall of Fame. So his reputation just keeps going lower and lower, dude. You got Max Kellerman saying that shit, like, bro.
That's wild. I didn't know that actually.
Oh yeah, no. He said, who has he really beaten? Like,
I know Max got on him. I know Max gave him a good tongue lashing, and rightfully so. I mean, I don't know what else you want to, hear from that respect.
Yeah, no. So, but no, that hopefully that answers your question. And then, but moving on to the boxing and moving on to fight week. Last episode, we really broke down with you guys again a lot of the whole Dana White, TKO, free boxing on CBS. It's going to be probably Tuesday or Thursday nights, right? But when we played you the clip of Dana talking, and Professor T played it for you guys, you heard Dana essentially say, all of these promoters don't know what they're talking about. They have no vision. They, he basically said, I'm going to go ahead and do boxing the way it's supposed to be done. Right. And me and Professor T kind of had to explain to you what Dana was saying necessarily wasn't a direct hit, but let me and Professor T kind of give you the subtitles to what he's really trying to explain, right? Because again, he's very excited, and believe me and Professor T and the rest of the world are very excited that Dana White's jumping into boxing. This is great. This is all amazing for the sport of boxing, which we all love. But at the end of the day, Professor T, I think that a lot of the American casual fans just don't understand how influential, important, or powerful Eddie Hearn is and Matchroom Global Sports.
Yeah. Shout out Eddie Hearn.
Shout out to Eddie Hearn, man, because check this out. if you have not watched on Netflix the 6-part series called The Greatest Showman, it's basically, Professor T, like watching 24/7 on HBO back in the day.
Right.
Okay. But 6 episodes of it, but it's about the Matchroom Hearn family. And bro, some of the shit that you end up hearing,
right,
it's crazy because they mic'd them and they were like, whatever you say is what's going to be. So, it takes them through Anthony Joshua's laws. It takes them through the back end business dealings, right? And it really kind of opens your eyes to understand, look, man, you got, if you want to be in the boxing business like I was, like, you better love the shit you're going to have to go through also, because it's a dirty business.
Oh, yeah.
There's
big time.
So but it does kind of like, it reveals it to you, like, oh, boxing is so big globally. So you start to understand that, but then you start to understand that outside of the US, bro, darts is like 3 times bigger than boxing in terms of viewership, and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then they have Matchroom owns that. They own snooker, which is really billiards or pool, as they say, right? And they're this entire entity group that owns all this other thing. So it's a great thing to watch. And again, the reason why I'm talking about it is today, Eddie Hearn, he did his response. And basically, man, it's almost like the response is it lit a fire in Eddie Hearn. A fire, like he's always been that. Like, I think the reason why a lot of us boxing hardcore aficionados love Eddie Hearn is because we know that he really does love the sport, because he had to grow up in it. His dad was the promoter of Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks, right? And all the greats back then, and Barry Hearn was the one that brought boxing to Sky Sports and did this whole thing. So Barry Hearn, I mean, so Eddie, his son, was the one watching it the entire time, like being groomed to be this guy, and he knew he wasn't going to be good enough to be a boxer, even though he did box a little bit and loved it. But he went into the sports management side, and then he eventually became a promoter, and then now he's. I mean, we talked about it a couple of shows ago. He signed with Jay-Z and Rock Nation, right? So there's going to be concerts, there's going to be music, there's going to be fashion, all involved in Matchroom's boxing company, right? So that's all going to be good for the boxers. More money, more sponsorship, more of everything. And then now, shit, man, they're talking about Saudi might be buying a piece of Matchroom. And if you invest Saudi money into that powerful brand, bro. Like, so it's fun. And again, we're watching it on this side as fans, guys. So you have to understand, like, if you're listening to us on TikTok and you're young and you're trying to understand why it's so fun, you guys, the younger generation, you're about to see so much boxing that you might get sick of it. Honestly, like it's going to be everywhere. Dana White's going to show it. Eddie Hearn's going to show it. Like, it's going to be bam, 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 right? And it's going to get to a space where you will be kind of like, okay, now I know who that guy is. I know who Shakur is. I know who Lamont Roach is. I know who Teofimo Lopez is. You're going to start to know a lot of these names.
So the only thing I am honestly a little leery of is getting back to the whole, Dana White's crew don't fight, Eddie Hearn's crew don't fight, right? You know what I'm saying? And right now they're like UFC, right? In terms of what no longer exists. I don't even remember the names of these companies that don't exist. Right? Seriously, like what? I don't even know. Like, there's 2 major ones that just didn't make it.
Well, I mean, Bellator was around for a long time. Right, but then there was Strike Force. Remember, there was Strike Force that eventually got bought by Zuffa, right? And then there was PFL was actually what they used to call the World Series of Fighting on NBC, right? So yeah, no, I mean you're right. Now, what I'll say, though, is what we broke down on what Dana White was going to do is he was very clear that he didn't want to work with any of the belts. He only wanted to recognize Ring Magazine rankings, and he was going to do his shows as I'm going to show it free to American audiences to build up names that you don't know of fighters that are up and coming, and the fights will be 50-50 fights, right? Okay, cool. We love that format. At the end of the day, you and I both know, though, Professor T, that the belts do matter. I mean, even though we don't like some of the politics that they do, and they'll fucking rank someone higher than they're supposed to, and all that bullshit, and a super champion and an interim champion, and it gets confusing, right? At the end of the day, when we're talking about the history of boxing, the WBC matters to people and to the boxers, dude. The WBA matters to them. The WBO matters to them. The IBF matters to them. So what Eddie Hearn said on the interview today, and I hope you could put it up here pretty soon, and maybe we can play clips of it. But what he said is, I'm going to double down. Everything that Dana White is telling you guys, not only am I going to try to challenge that, I'm going to go the complete, like what he's saying he won't do, I'm going to put more money into all those things. I'm going to make sure that all of my fighters do get a chance to fight for all of these belts. I'm going to have them all get unified. So now you got one guy in Dana White who's like, oh, well, you to your question, you were like, oh, I'm kind of worried he's not going to have his fighters fight Eddie Hearn's fighters. Well, the difference here, though, Professor T, is there's one governing shogun that controls it all, which is Turki Al-Sheikh. And you have to remember that the way it works is they're going to go from Zuffa Boxing and win whatever that Zuffa Boxing belt will be. But then they're going to get signed to Turkey to fight in Saudi. Well, guess what, Professor T? If you're fighting in Saudi, you don't really have a choice now because Saudi only pays for the super fights. So if you're the Zuffa champion and you're fighting Eddie Hearn's champion, Dana White's not really going to have a choice because Dana's whole league is to build them up so that he can pass them on to Turkey. So at the end of the day, again, as a fan, you guys don't really even have to understand the business side of this. Me and Professor T are just trying to explain to you that you're just going to have so much boxing coming out of your arse that it's going to be hard for you to say that boxing isn't a top 5 sport globally because you're going to see it free on America, free in the UK, free on the Zone, free on YouTube. Like it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you in 2026.
Right.
Not to see all of this.
I have to give this information to the watchers, to the historians, right? The people that really want to know this information. Strike Force, founded in 1985 by Scott Coker.
Yep. Shout out to Scott Coker. Great man.
Long story short, defunct in 2013, man. And
didn't have the network deals.
Right. And the successor, none other than the UFC.
Zuffa Entertainment bought it. Yeah, right. Which is the Fertitas. Zuffa, if you guys want to know, Zuffa Boxing, which is the name that Dana White opened up back like years ago, is really Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta, right? Who own Station Casinos here in Las Vegas, among other businesses. But whenever you walk into a Station Casino here in Las Vegas, the reason why the UFC is free and you never have to pay any pay-per-views is because they own it. Right. So you just walk right in and go watch UFC 320 or whatever the next one is, UFC 321. Although I keep hearing again, Professor T, and not to get too long-winded on UFC again, but UFC 324 is supposed to be the first free fight on CBS in January. Okay. And it's supposed to be, bro. It's supposed to be my guy from Spain, Ilia Topuria.
Oh.
Against, you're going to like this one. You're going to like this. Against Justin Gaethje, bro.
That's a burn.
Bang! Someone's getting knocked out. Someone's getting laid out on that fight.
Somebody's getting laid out for sure.
And it's free on CBS.
That's wild.
Regular TV, y'all. Wild. That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
So to finish off, we mentioned the two defunct, big, huge, right? Conglomerates. Bellator MMA, founded in 2008 by Bjorn Rebner. And what's wild about this, man, is it ceased on my birthday, January 14th, 2025. And the president was none other than Scott Coker.
Yes, sir. Got to work with Scott when it was Bellator, and it was great. Scott did a really cool job with Bellator. Got to fight in different venues, Mohegan Sun, the Forum. Really, really cool stuff. The whole staff was awesome at Bellator. And again, it's a tough business, Professor T. What do you want me to tell you? All right, it's a tough business, and there needs to be. It's like the NFL would not be as big as it is if it wasn't for the fact that TV networks are willing to pay for the exclusive rights of showing the game, right? So at the end of the day, that's what investors want, because what does TV want? TV wants content so that they can sell to commercials.
Correct.
What do commercials want? Commercials want viewership. The more viewership you can show, the more money the commercial is. That's why a Super Bowl ad costs so much, right?
Correct.
So it's all just math, guys. It's all math. So that's what I've been trying to explain to you for the last 2 years, Greater Nation and everyone else, is that there will come a time where boxing will be free again.
Right.
And there will come a time, just like in the 70s, when boxing was something you just watch when you're a kid because it just happens to be on a Tuesday night or a Friday night or a Saturday. You just grew up in it, man. You grew up in it. Yeah. I grew up in it. Absolutely. It was just a thing. It was just a thing, man. You grew up watching Marvin Hagler. You grew up watching Marvin Hagler doing a right guard commercial. Remember those damn commercials, right? Indubitably, or whatever the hell you would always say, right? You saw Sugar Ray Leonard do, what was it, like Coke? He did Coke and he did a cereal, right? I think, I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that was normal American television. You watch these guys, right? Oscar De La Hoya had his time too. So and even Roy Jones, remember? Roy Jones was the first guy to be signed to Nike by Jordan, by the Jordan brand, right? So we're just trying to explain to you again that get ready for 2026. Boxing is going to be coming at you hard. And honestly, it's going to kind of maybe even outshine some of the UFC stuff. Although UFC White House is crazy, bro. UFC White House is crazy. So
what's this thing with Conor? I know that he said he was going to.
Yeah, no, we showed the clip of him saying he is coming out to the White House. So this is him. So what happened with Conor is he violated the USADA rules, and by rule, it has to go retroactive. But the funny thing about it is, it's just them getting all the paperwork done correctly. So essentially, Professor T, he's quote unquote suspended until March 20th of 2026. And that's to make up for all the violation times, right? Well, he's not fighting until June anyway, so who cares?
Oh, I thought it was okay. Then it doesn't.
Yeah, no one. It's like I get it. You guys went ahead and just wanted to say so that you sound all legit. Correct. That Conor McGregor broke the rules. Surprise, surprise! Like we didn't know that he was. Come on, man. Yes, we know. I mean, there was a reason probably why he decided to go from when he beat Eddie Alvarez at 155.
Right.
Remember when he was fighting Nate Diaz and he's like, I'll fight you at 170? Like, why would you want to fight anyone at a higher weight class? And then he just kept going like that. And then he couldn't make 155. And then he started looking all big. And, we all know, man. We all know. All right. Like, yes, sure, whatever. So this is their way of retroactively saying, well, you're going to have to get punished. So here's your suspension, which will last until March of 2026. Oh, boo-hoo. Like, he's not fighting till June. So that did nothing for anyone other than paperwork.
Right.
so that was the breaking news that you saw. Again, it was just clickbait, bro. It's just clickbait and makes you want to look through it. Do you have and then the big signing in the UK, which is huge. And I know for a fact for 2 years I've been talking your ear off about this kid, the drunken master guy, right? Ben Whitaker, the surgeon. Okay. So remember I told you that I'd been watching him since when he won silver medal. This guy's super talented. I was even telling you and Severe, this guy is going to be your next Roy Jones Jr. And you guys are like, oh, I don't know about Roy Jones Jr. Yeah. And I was trying to explain to you that it's because he has all the things, right? He's got the speed. He's 6'3". He makes 175. He's good looking. He speaks well. He's Jamaican. He's UK. Like, America will like him. But the problem is the promotional group he was under was still, I don't want to like shit on Boxer, but it was still too nationalistic in terms of just UK brand, right? And what you need them to be is a global brand. So, because boxing is so cutthroat, even his own promoter at the time, Ben Shalom, didn't even know it was happening. And Eddie Hearn, man, from pulled the rug underneath them, and they did this one announcement. So is there any way you could pull this video up for us on the Instagram? I sent it to you. It's the Ben Whitaker one. It's really funny, and I think you'll enjoy it.
The Ben Whitaker.
Yeah, it's on your Instagram. You'll see Ben Whitaker on it. And then let's see if we can show that to the audience. So let me set this up while you're trying to find it. I realize again, TikTok, that you guys might not be old enough to remember this movie. But there was a movie called Jerry Maguire, which in my opinion is still one of the greatest top 100 movies you're going to have to see. It was about an agent and his football player named Rod Tidwell, who was played by Cuba Gooding Jr., who ended up winning the Oscar award for Best Supporting Actor at that year. And there was a famous line. That's the TikTok ending?
That is TikTok.
Oh, TikTok, we lost you guys. Thank you, though.
They're still there.
Oh, they're still there? Okay. That's the TikTok warning then. The famous line that some of you youngsters might not know is the line that goes, "Show me the money," right? And "Show me the money" was a whole like scene that had happened. So if you ever look it up on YouTube, Jerry Maguire, "Show me the money," you see this entire scene play out, and it's one of the best scenes you'll ever watch between an American football player and an agent, and they were portraying like the two egotistical sides of both. An agent, what an agent is willing to do to get a player that is super egotistical, and it's a great scene. So anyways, the way they made the global announcement that Ben Whitaker had signed with Eddie Hearn is they did a parody of this, and I'm trying to get Professor T to show it so he could see it and we could all watch it together because it's really pretty awesome.
I'm trying.
You found the video though, right? You found the Instagram? Okay, cool.
Front of a button that won't allow me to. Okay, there we go. Bam. All right.
Here we go. Oh, this is okay. You're okay. You can play this too. Actually, don't, because this one it gets cut short.
Show me the money.
So
yeah, shit, Eddie. Show me the money. I need to feel you, Eddie. Show me the money. Show me the money. I love Ben Whitaker. I love Ben Whitaker. Do you love this black man? I love Ben Whitaker. I love black people. I love black people. Who you motherfucker, Eddie? You're my motherfucker. What are you gonna do, Eddie? Show me the money. Congratulations, you're now my promoter.
That was when the announcement happened. I was on the ATP Combat Media Show. Shout out to my good friend Clay Moraine and Ray Davis, who are the host and co-host of that show. I was a guest. And yeah, we played the video. So I just resent you the entire 1 minute TikTok or Instagram of it. But they basically recreated that scene, Professor T. And yeah, like again, it just shows you that if you have not watched Ben Whitaker yet,
right?
For people like Spence who love Ennis, or if you love Ennis, then let me tell you, man, the entertainment value of Ben Whitaker, it goes up about 100 times.
Well, yeah, it's tenfold. He's definitely gonna be must see TV for sure. Win, lose, or draw, it won't matter. He'll be must see TV.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You guys can look him up. The Surgeon, Ben Whitaker. He does. I can't even describe it, man. Like, I guess for boxing people, can we say that it's like if you mixed Prince Nassim Hamed with Roy Jones Jr. and I don't know, would you say like Sugar Ray Leonard, maybe? I like there's a lot of showmanship for sure. There's a lot of flair and showmanship and he does a lot of the Ali, like getting out of the way with his head and stuff like that. So, so no, he's fun to watch. Definitely that. But yeah, that was a big signing. And he's about to be a big global brand ambassador for them.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, that's a good remake. They really well thought that out, in my opinion. That was
yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, no, definitely check out the whole the full thing. And then is there a chance? I'm trying to see. Maybe I could just send you like a short clip before we go of Eddie Hearn kind of explaining some of the things that he said, because I sent you like the full video with Ariel Helwani, which I definitely think is a must watch if you guys want to check out Ariel Helwani's podcast with Eddie Hearn.
Right.
And you'll see. But here's like a little bit of it. I'm giving you the TikTok right now so we can play it, or the Instagram. Sorry. Here's a little part of him kind of explaining some of the things on it, on the interview. But it's a great interview.
All right, hold on. Come on, move out the way.
So this is Eddie Hearn had a 55-minute one-on-one. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. This is part of it.
Wants to fight for a Zuffa boxing belt. I'm sorry. It will just be fighters that really have a great opportunity to make some money and be part of something, or someone that's sold out within the sport and just wants to take the money. You ask any young fighter, and I have my differences with the WBC and all the governing bodies. If we didn't have our differences, we'd be doing something wrong. Let me tell you something now. The WBC is a legacy, and it is part of the absolute history of the sport of boxing. You know the fighters that have had that belt around their waist? I mean, these are heroes. These are trailblazers. These are some of the greatest names in sporting history that young fighters look at those pictures and say, I want to win the WBC title. You think that if I tried to convince my guys, yeah, guys, we're going to create a matchroom belt now, they'd tell me, no, I don't want to fight. I want to win the WBC world title, the WBA, the WBO, the IBF. We moan about the politics, and rightfully so. Sometimes they make some bad decisions. But you cannot underestimate the history and the legacy of those belts. And for me now, I'm doubling down, right? I'm all about the belts. The Ring Magazine belt, unbelievable. Even before Turkey got involved, I said, that's the belt with no politics, an independent ranking system, no sanction fees. So that's a big part of what we do. But I'm doubling down on the belts.
What's that mean?
It means I want to see my guys win world championships, create history and legacy in the sport. I don't want a new belt. I don't want to change the ring. I don't want a funky canvas cover. I'm going boxing. This is in my blood. This is in my heart. the sport of boxing. The greatest sport, in my opinion, in the world. The drama, the glory, the pain of defeat, the stories, everything. And I want to follow into the traditions and greatness of the sport. So we all need to come together, and we're always going to argue, us and Bob and Oscar, but we need to make great fights. So rather than me coming in and saying, yeah, my broadcast position, PBC top rank, no. We want to forge stronger relationships with those people so we can make bigger fights together. The reality is...
Now, you see that? You see what I'm saying, Professor T? That was your question. What you were worried about, and this is what I was telling you, is it's not going to happen, man. Right. It's not going to happen because Turkey Al-Sheikh's involved.
Right.
At the end of the day, your Canelo Crawfords, you guys think that was big? Let me explain something to you guys right now, man. In 2026, if Crawford really for real, right, says, I'm not retiring, you about to see 92,000 people at Cornhusker Stadium watch Terrence Crawford possibly become the only fighter in history to win 4 undisputed titles in 4 different weight classes. Can you imagine, bro? Come on, man. What are we doing here? Right? And we get to live in it, Professor T. One day, hopefully, your ass is going to be 93, and you'll be able to say to someone, you don't even know, young pup, about this kid named Terrence Crawford. I lived through that. I saw his fights. You know what I mean, right? Like that. We're gonna if I make it that far, God willing, we're gonna sound like how those guys in the 50s and the 60s sounded about. Joe Louis and Rocky Marciano and
we're right to today. I mean, you pull up the tape don't lie. See, that's the thing about, you know what I'm saying, everything. And the reality is, in my opinion, a lot of the other sports have evolved. And don't get me wrong. Yes, boxing, the guys have clearly gotten faster, stronger, quicker, etc. But I'm sorry, that grit is missing. I'm sorry. That
not Terrence Crawford though. Not Terrence Crawford.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I want to fight the best. I don't want nobody at their worst. I don't want nobody with an injury. That is a lost situation. Bud is the last of the dying breed. It's gone. It's non-existent.
Well, again, you might be surprised, Professor T, because like I told you, there's American boxing and then there's global boxing. And in the global boxing scene, outside of the U.S., we've already, in the last 2 years, we've seen best versus best. We've seen Fury Usyk. We've seen Better Be Bivol, right? Bam Rodriguez is fighting everybody. Naoya Inoue is fighting everybody. Junto Nakatani's fighting everybody. So the last of the front line hold is really the American champions, right? But in 2026, that's why you got Shakur Stevenson going.
Right.
I'll go fight Teofimo Lopez, right? You got your boy, Abdullah Mason, bro. Abdullah Mason his first world title in November.
Hey, he's taking over for Bud, man.
Well, we'll see, because I don't know, man. I mean, I'm rooting for him to beat Sam Noakes.
Who my favorite fighter is.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. But, but Abdullah Mason, he's in a tough one with Sam Noakes. And Sam Noakes, I told you, he's kind of like the Ricky Hatton right now.
Fighter.
He's the UK, right?
Yes.
And then you do have situations now, Professor T, like Brian Norman versus Devin Haney. I mean, shit, that's not an easy fight.
No, hell no. That's a great fight.
So, there's some grit out there. I understand what you're saying, right? There's some grit.
Let's be real, man.
It's not like, I understand what you're saying. It's not like Sugar Ray Robinson.
None of the guys today are fighting 15 rounds.
Right. No. I understand what you're saying.
Back, not like those dudes did back in the day.
Well. To your point, though, that's exactly why when we're doing comparisons, it's hard for us to give so much credence to someone like a Tank Davis, because we did watch Aaron Pryor.
Yeah,
we did watch Alexis Arguello. So we're kind of like, bro, Tank Davis would have gotten smoked. by these guys. Like, it wouldn't have even been close. Like, what are we talking about here? Right? He gotten smoked by these guys.
It wouldn't even been remotely. Yeah, it would have been laughable.
I mean, do you know what Roberto Duran at 135 would have done? Tank Davis would not have. I mean, Tank Davis might have hit Duran and got shocked, but it barely even nicked him. You know what I mean?
Man, Jesus. That would have been, yeah.
Or even, you know, like, in all honesty, like, when we really are talking, like, Cesar Chavez back at when he was 135, bro.
It's another one.
I mean, that guy hit hard for a reason, right? Meldrick Taylor was never the same after their fight, dude.
Ever.
You know? So, again, I understand where you're coming from, that the old school fighters, the Ray Mancinis had a certain toughness to them.
It's like the cars. Seriously, it's like the old school cars. That you're never getting that again. You're never going to get that old hunk of metal that can literally fall off of a cliff and still keep its shape. You're just not going to get that.
So basically, Professor T's calling the new age boxers, for the most part, a bunch of Teslas.
Yeah, basically. A bunch of slick ass Teslas.
Oh man. Oh. But again,
I put boots in that class.
That old school, the old school gladiator. Right?
I do. You're right. There are a few.
Yeah, I mean, if you start to pick it apart, Professor T, like, just look at the champions, right? If we go, okay, so David Benavidez, would you say David Benavidez?
I would give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, how about Shakur Stevenson?
I mean, yeah, but he's not. He's yes,
yeah, because until, I mean, especially now, he's challenging people, right? So, all right, and then how about Conor Benn? Right? And then if you put Conor Benn in there, you got to put Chris Eubanks Jr. in there.
I'm just biased, bro. I'm not going to lie. I know, and I just can't even be fair because it's just, I just can't, dude. These dudes are soft, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's just soft, bro. I don't know what to say, Carl. I don't know. I deserve all the backlash I guess I'll get.
No. You have a good point. There's no backlash to it. You have a great point in what you're saying, that a Joe Louis, right? Like, from the 50s.
That was just very different.
Right. It was just and it also, too, Professor T, it was a different time, right? Like, they didn't just have to battle the ring, they had to battle everything outside the ring. What Muhammad Ali had to go through, right? So no, I understand, and that's why for us, when we talk about Sugar Ray Robinson, the guy was fighting every 2 weeks. He got up to over 200 fights. He fucking fought Lamato, like 6 times, bro? Like, that's insane, right? Like, the last time I remember someone fighting that many times was Pacquiao Marquez, which is probably one of the greatest rivalries. They fought each other 4 times, right? But those two, if they would have kept fighting, probably could have fought each other for like 6 times.
Right.
If we're being honest, right? And that's kind of what you're talking about. You missed that. You missed the, hey, I can fight you. Let's fight again. Let's fight again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Instead of, like, you know, and again, this is no slight to Floyd, but in the Floyd Mayweather era, it was kind of the popular thing to go, all right, well, I beat you. So what's the point in me fighting you again? There's no money in it. Right. And I think that you're speaking to that more, right? But now money's not the issue anymore because Saudi's just going to pay it.
Well, we'll see.
All you got to do is nut up.
In the building, professional E says, Ennis, an old school gladiator, ? Laugh out loud. I get it. I get it because you know what? To Boots' defense, it's not his fault that he's in this era. And I could say the same for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford still, in my opinion, has not been challenged. Seriously. I mean, the closest challenge he had was at 54. And it really wasn't even the challenge. That was just one of those, you know, okay, this is definitely different, awkward, and a style I haven't seen, but I didn't lose to it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, I don't know. I am.
Let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
If we put Terrence Crawford in the era that had Wilfredo Benitez, okay? Right. If Wilfredo Benitez fought a 15-rounder against Terrence Crawford, where do you put Terrence Crawford there? At 147.
I think he can win that.
Okay.
I think he can win that fight.
All right. You see what I'm saying? And Wilfredo Benitez is the fifth king, right?
Like, he's Wilfredo is I think I got him in one.
He signed one of your gloves, right?
These joints.
Yeah, no, Wilfredo Benitez, for you guys who don't know who that is, man, shame on you, because I know that in the American culture, we're always talking about Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, and the one non-American that always makes this list is Roberto Duran. But people forget that if it wasn't for Wilfredo Benitez giving a shot to Sugar Ray Leonard, and in that amazing 15-round fight, you wouldn't have a Sugar Ray Leonard, right? And then Wilfredo Benitez moved up to 154 to win the 154 title. And if it wasn't for Wilfredo Benitez giving Tommy Hearns a shot at 154, then you wouldn't know the great Tommy Hearns, right? Like, there's always that guy. Like, dude, they had to beat this guy. Right. So it's kind of like, you know, the Utah Jazz didn't suck. Like, you know what I mean? They just didn't beat Jordan. But that doesn't mean they were a bad team. They're still one of the most winningest teams in NBA history, right? So that's what I mean about, like, so when I pull out a name like Wilfredo Benitez, I'll tell you, like, I mean, shit, I don't think Brian Norman could beat a Wilfredo Benitez. I don't think Devin Haney could beat Wilfredo Benitez. You know, like, Mario Barrios or Rolly Romero. Like, I understand what Professor T is talking about. He's saying they're not like Wilfredo Benitez, right? I understand. But you understand now what I'm trying to say is, but you can take certain fighters from this era, and say you can take Terrence Crawford and put him.
You can take Bud.
You can take Bud, right? And then we're gonna find out, man. Like, let's find out if we can take Boots.
Yeah, I think that's why I say professional. I'm with you. I put Boots in that class because he's the boogeyman, and there's nobody.
The talent is there. The talent is there.
He hasn't been challenged.
But like you said, it wasn't his fault, right? Like, not necessarily his fault. PBC was kind of like moving him around weird, right? So we're gonna find out. And if it's true, like, first of all, and again, I'm big on this one, and you know I love Virgil Ortiz. So shout out to you, Virgil Ortiz. It sounds like I don't like you when I say this, but I do, man. I'm a big Virgil Ortiz guy, especially because you rock with the Raiders. Even though we're losers, you rock with us, and I respect that, Virgil. I do. But, bro, you barely beat Boachuk, and even Professor T thought Boachuk won, right? You had a hard time with Madrimov, who had bronchitis, right? And again, hey, man, all credit to you. You're taking these tough fights. You're going Boachuk. You're going Madrimov, right? You're not taking no wimpy ass weak fights. Like, all your fights are hard fights. That's awesome. So now the question is, could you beat Erickson Lubin? Because Erickson Lubin's not easy.
Bro, that's a hell of a fight, and I'm telling you right now, Lubin ain't coming to lose, bro. He's coming to lose, bro. He is one of the most seasoned dudes I would stay away from if I had a fighter. He's not somebody I'm allowing to fight. Not, unless it's obviously.
Yeah. But that's
Lubin, bro.
Yeah, so I respect him. Yeah, he knocked down Fundura.
That's an old school type fighter. He's
right.
An old school type fighter. He just doesn't have the talent and that skill.
Right. He's got the will, though. He's got the will. He's got the heart.
Got that heart and grit, and you just not. Yeah.
So
I like Lubin.
Yeah, well, that's why you should be going to Fort Worth on November 8th, man. Go take Spence with you. But check this out, right? So let's say Virgil Ortiz wins that. However he wins it, he wins it.
Right.
The promise that we are being given is that Jaron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz are supposed to fight on the same card
Right.
as Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, bro.
That would be fire.
Right?
That would be fire.
So again, we got to give him a chance. Let's give him a chance, right? In the next few weeks, we're gonna find out here. But in a fight like that, Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, there's history there. I'm talking about that these fighters are so good at this point. That's not even for a world title, bro. So when's the last time you saw two guys at that level not fight for a world championship, dude? It's not even for a world title because Virgil Ortiz is still the interim. Fundura is still the champion at the WBC. He's fighting Keith Thurman here in Vegas on October 26th.
Yep.
The IBF guy, Bakram Murtalasayev, nobody seems to want to fight his ass because he's scary.
Yeah.
Abbas Baru just beat Yoenis Tejas, and Yoenis Tejas was supposed to be the next great up-and-coming youngster. He won that title and lost it already, right? And then Xander Zayas, bro. Xander Zayas has got the WBO. So you got a bunch of killers here, right? But the two guys who aren't fighting for the actual title, Virgil Ortiz and Boots Ennis, where would you put them right now out of the names I just mentioned?
I mean, in the mix. I don't know, man. It's a good question. They're all in the mix. You know what I mean? They're all in the mix. And Fundora is a hard fight. He's got to be a hard fight for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
And Lubin gave him a hard time. Lubin gave him a hard time.
Did. Because Lubin's got that size. He's got that length. Lubin's not a small kid.
No, he's not. No, he's definitely gonna. You guys will see it. You'll see him much bigger than.
Yeah.
Not much bigger, but you'll definitely see a difference in size when he's in the ring with Virgil Ortiz.
Correct.
Which is why I was saying, like, don't just automatically assume that Virgil Ortiz is gonna win that fight. He's supposed to win the fight, but let's not jump the gun and assume that he could just walk in there and win. You know. So all right, but so let's say it does happen. If Boots Ennis fights Virgil Ortiz, knowing what you know about the two, who do you pick?
I'm picking Boots.
Yeah. See?
I'm picking.
See what I'm saying?
I'm picking Boots. Yeah.
Okay, so now let's say Boots beats him, right? Boots becomes the #1 mandatory for Fundura.
Right. That.
So who would you pick?
Like to see. I don't know, and I think that would be the first time we get to see Boots tested. I think that's the first time you'll see him.
You don't think the Virgil Ortiz one is a test?
Well,
come on.
I mean, in terms of, I think Fundura has more power. I think he's more awkward because of his size, bro. I don't know.
But he's lost before, Professor T. He lost to Brian Mendoza, bro, and Brian Mendoza.
He fought a hell of a fight. That was a great fight by Mendoza. I highly suggest catching that one if you didn't see that. That was a hell of a fight. Great game plan. But no, I don't know. It depends on which one we get. I'll put it that way. If we get the Fundura that likes to keep that length, and you know what I'm saying, keep him on the edge, it's gonna be a problem. But if we get the Fundura that likes to act like he's 4 foot and fight in the phone booth, like he normally does, right? You know what I mean? Then it's
right.
Equals it out, in my opinion.
Well, see, this is where my bias starts to show because I think Boots not only beats Fundura, I think he knocks Fundura out.
Really?
Right? I believe that Boots Ennis would knock Fundura out just because, again, when you say, well, I don't think Boots has been tested, bro, I don't think Fundura's been tested.
No,
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, Brian Mendoza is not a world champion, so you lost to a non-world champion. Right. I haven't seen Boots Ennis lost to anybody.
No, I agree.
You know, right?
Fair state. Yeah, I can't even argue that.
Yeah. And then when we even talk about Virgil Ortiz, and again, this is where I talk about Virgil Ortiz too. I haven't seen Virgil Ortiz lose either. I have seen him in a really close fight in where we could say he probably lost, like the Bochuk fight, right?
Right.
But he didn't lose, so we can't say he lost, right? So that's where we put Virgil Ortiz. And then, man, there's that whole Xander Zayas issue. He's only 21. He's fast. He's lengthy. You know, he's got the ability to dance around you. So, you know, again, Professor T, the division is stacked, bro.
It is.
It's stacked.
It's stacked.
So yeah, so boxing is fun. Last thing I'll say is if Professor T is gonna do it, because I can't do it with him, all day on Saturday, starting in the morning.
Yeah.
The fights in Sheffield caps off with the heavyweight championship between David Allen, the Cinderella Man,
right,
at heavyweight, versus the Russian, Arslanbek Makhmudov, who at one time they were kind of like building him up like he's Ivan Drago, right? Before he got knocked out by Agit Kabayel. Remember how Agit Kabayel did him dirty? Just kept breaking him down to the body. So this is going to be a fun fight. That's in Sheffield. That's going to be in front of 10,000. So if you're Texas time for you, I think that will start at 11 a.m. for the prelims.
Right.
And then the main event will get to you by about 2:30.
Yep.
So if you decide to do your live, you know, I don't know if you're doing a pool party.
Yeah.
But you know, but if you're not, you should do a live.
I should.
Right.
I need to get back. I need to get the numbers back up. Our numbers are atrocious. It's my fault. Shout out to Professor T for having work, and that's the last thing I got.
Well, yeah, hey, man. I remember when you did the Pacquiao watch party, you got like 5,000 people watching.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Hey, there's a lot of UK people that'll be interested in your take on David Allen versus Makhmudov. So that's daytime. The issue with that, of course, is it's going to roll right into Boots Ennis' fight, which now the Boots Ennis fight for you, the prelims don't start till 4:30 p.m.
Okay.
Which means that the Boots Ennis fight's going to be late for you. It'll be like probably start around 8. Right?
Yep.
So yeah. So those are the two. So if you guys go back to the knockout canvas, if Professor T's not doing some pool party or whatever the hell he does on Saturdays,
we'll be around.
Then he'll do a live watch party for you guys, free on the zone and the whole bit.
Yes, sir. All right, man. It's a great show. It's a great show, man.
Good time.
Yeah.
Good time.
Don't forget, if you haven't already, Reyes Boxing, right? Knockout Canvas. Like, subscribe, and last but not least, hit that notification button, right? So that way you know when we're on, and you can come check us out. Tomorrow, I got my boy Spence in the building, dead in the water. I don't know who plays tomorrow, but hopefully it's
the Giants versus the Eagles.
Yeah, Giants.
Jackson Dart is coming out.
Yeah, we got Jackson Dart. We got my boy Scatterboo. I love watching how he plays. I think he's got about a good another 2-3 years max at this rate. Anybody that plays like a wild child like this,
it's tough, right? As a running back, that's tough. Yeah.
No way.
He's kind of like a boxer who's like all in, like you know, like you know what I mean, right? It's hard for them to last that long.
I think he understands. It's the only way I'm going to be in the league, so I might as well just, you know, there's no reason to try to have a longevity. You're not that kind of guy, right?
Yeah,
seriously.
He's trying to make the most out of being a New York Giant.
Who you are until the wheels fall off. I think he is playing it smart. He's going to be the most liked, right? He'll get an earlier payday off of it, I think. And yeah, right off into the sunset after year 5, because
probably be a personality, TV personality,
something like that. Right. Otherwise,
all right. Well, that's Thursday night football, guys. It's Eagles versus New York Giants. So that's what you and Spence will get a chance to watch. And then man, Saturday. Professional E. The answer to your question is, for me, my prediction is Boots Ennis will win. Honestly, Lima's good. Lima is really good, so I think he'll just go to decision. That's and I love Boots, and I always expect Boots to get a knockout. I'm just saying, man, this boy's strong.
Yeah,
This guy is like, you know. Do you have it, Professor T? The Instagram of him flexing.
I mean, just look at the picture that's up right now. You probably can't see the screen. I mean, that dude's got abs on top of abs on top of abs.
Man, I mean, I'm telling you, like, so that's the only reason why I say that it'll go to decision. I definitely believe that Boots will win. But here, let me just do this so that Professor T, can you show this real quick, Professor T? I just sent it to your Instagram so you guys can see. This is the guy that Boots Ennis is fighting. And this is him like on a short little video. And again, this you have to understand the context of what me and Professor T have been talking about all night, which is this is the first time we're going to see Boots Ennis go up to 154. So we don't know what we don't know yet, right? We believe in his talent.
Oh, this is his first. Oh, I forgot.
And this dude's been the 154 IBO champ. And I know the IBO is outside of those 4 belts, but it's kind of like saying this guy's still the Mountain West champion. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still college football, bro. Like, like, I get it. You guys don't respect Boise State that much, but I understand. It's still a championship. You know, it's still Mountain West. I know it's not the SEC or the ACC or none of the Big Ten, right? But still a championship. Well, look at this guy.
Yeah, this dude this ain't gonna be no easy.
He's a big dude, man. He's a big dude. Even when they did the face-off, Professor T, you can see that he is bigger than Boots.
Yes, absolutely, man. Yeah, this.
I know, man.
Walk in the park, bro.
Not gonna be easy.
Walk in the park. It's gonna be a fight.
The Professor T may actually call. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, that's all I got for the people, man. We are good, man, until Saturday.
Well, yeah, I won't be here, but you do your thing.
Where are you going?
I got to go to the UNLV game.
Yeah,
I'm going to the UNLV game, and then you know what? I might and this is my last parting shot to the Raiders. If your tickets are priced the way it's supposed to, for a 1-4 team to fight to have a match against another 1-4 team, those tickets should be $50 or less. If I'm being honest,
I agree. I wouldn't pay more than that either. Yeah.
So if you guys want an empty stadium, that's on you. But if you want it to be packed with a bunch of locals, then basically I'm more than willing to go to Allegiant Stadium on Sunday.
Who do we play?
The Tennessee Titans, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's what I sent you is on the Raider Nation Live fantasy league, bro. Raider Nation Jason is so against the Raiders at this point because he's so mad. He fucking grabbed the Tennessee Titans defense to play against your team, bro. That's how confident he is. He's that confident. He's like, I'm gonna beat Terrence's team, fantasy team, and my defense will be the Tennessee Titans. That's how much he thinks Geno Smith is ass, bro. So
Geno is straight boo-boo, stinky, Pepe to that pew. Jesus, so bad. All right, man, I gotta get out of here. A great show. Till the next time, we are out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.